All right, so we are now recording. That is the opening for the first episode back.
Penis.
It can't be in the first 30 seconds. You gotta make it past the first 30 seconds before you can say anything like that.
Holy shit, that should not have made me laugh that hard.
There we go. We're goners.
Over before it began.
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start, but we're not. But we didn't play Vegas this time.
The game wasn't even rigged from the start. It didn't even get to start. You shot it at the starting line.
That was like
instead of the flare going up in the air, he just pointed it at the racer.
The seventh word.
Put the prize in the gravel pit.
30 seconds.
Gravel pit. Oh, take it out back. This podcast wasn't trained well enough. We got to take it to the gravel pit.
Dude, we restarted. We keep going.
We don't know,
I don't know what's better.
This is in. I don't care. This is in.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
All right.
So, anyways, Dark Souls.
No.
No,
there's a format.
All right.
There's a format? Oh, my bad. I wasn't briefed on that.
All right.
Dusty didn't pay me well enough to be briefed.
All right. So the format usually was start with what you were playing, but we have 2 years of what we've been playing, so we're just gonna skip that this episode because it's legit been 2 years since we've even sat down to record one of these.
Well, we could still say like what we've been playing just recently within the past few months.
It's the game at the end of the podcast. No, this podcast died when I moved to Oregon, and then I was I was in Oregon for an entire year itself.
What?
Yeah. 2021.
Gosh,
oh my
lot of
God.
fake
Okay,
fan.
I thought we did one. I thought the last episode was last year, but okay, never mind.
No, the very last episode was sometime in 2022, so it's been almost 2 years if it hasn't been.
Yeah, because I reminded you about the 2 lost episodes that disappeared.
Yes. Well, there's 4 lost episodes, but we'll get into that.
The two that you didn't remember.
Yes. All right. So we'll do. You know what? You're right. We'll do it really quickly. Fuck. I was gonna go in alphabetical order, but that's just the order that's on screen. It's always me first. I'm more important. Modern Warfare 3 next. Plot twist.
Ahead of alphabet. Who's next?
It's Eelayne.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been going back and playing Skyrim and Fallout New Vegas again, which has been a while. So I've been enjoying that. Helldivers is fun. Baldur's Gate 3 is fun. I just play a bunch of RPGs. That's it.
I just realized this is starting close to 2 hours late compared to what we originally said yesterday.
No, we said
6 my time, so we're only an hour late almost.
Okay. I got confused then. I thought everyone said 7 my time. I was like, it's almost 9.
No.
Oh wait, actually, game I've been enjoying, Voices of the Void. I love that game.
Oh yeah, fucking Signalis. That's fancy.
It's a very
Game you've been playing recently. What have you played? What have you been up to?
Stellar Blade.
Coomer.
It's a fun game. The visuals are a bonus.
I'm
okay?
sure, actually.
The visuals are a bonus.
You know what? I think that's a great way of calling it. Because, like, Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game. The bear fucking is a bonus.
Don't get started about the bear.
The bear.
That's why women choose the bear, because Halson.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
We're gonna get destroyed.
Gonna get banned.
No, all this means is that if this podcast makes it, then instead of having to, we'll have to have a Patreon. We will
Yeah.
have to have a Patreon if it
We
continues
will
being.
have to have a Patreon.
If it becomes that the first word yelled every episode is penis, we'll have to have a Patreon. All right, that's just gonna have to happen.
Well, it just so happens that you have one of the crassest people we know
My
as
bad.
a regular here.
It's my fault.
I used to be super crass, but like in a roundabout way, and then I figured out that streaming and being crass are not conducive to each other.
Yeah.
Unless you're critical. Critical can kind of get away with it.
He already
Finish
got
talking about memes.
I know.
Listen, it's a podcast. It happens. Okay, it happens. It's normal.
Go on. You let Lad finish.
Fallout 4 again. For Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, that's a bit person.
Epic. Did I get the episode number wrong? Did I spell
Yo.
episode wrong? I don't know. No, that's right. It just looks weird when it's caps.
If you misspelled episode.
No, I remember Googling this yesterday. It's correct. It just looks weird when it's all caps.
You Googled how to spell episode?
I'm not a smart man.
I can
Everyone knows
tell.
this. I'm
mean-
very open with how stupid I am.
You're at least smarter than the people you quote tweet on Twitter. So
Oh, this is true.
saying that much I can say.
Compared to Microsoft and Sony, Nintendo's a good guy. It's like, no.
Yeah, they think that any of them are good? No. They're all terrible.
Yeah.
Love, what games have you been playing?
Well, y'all are basic because I've been playing the greatest video game to ever come out, Snail Simulator. This game, no, okay, look, I have put 108 hours into this game and have all the achievements. I got it as a joke because I thought it was funny, and then I started actually playing it and having too much fun. The community is great. The reviews are great. The gameplay, amazing.
Well, I will admit the community is very fun.
This is just how Dusty used to do ironically, and that stopped being ironic.
Yeah, the only
I still dab to this day.
So do
That's-
I.
I
So
got
do
it
I.
originally because I knew simulator games were like bad, and then it was also Snail, and so I'm like, what could it possibly be? And then for the $1 that I paid for it, it is one of the most amounts of fun I've ever had. This thing is worth $1 per hour. This game is worth at least $100 then,
No,
because I've gotten 100 hours of actual game time playing this game and enjoying it.
Okay, but like, Love, I have a question. What percentage of that was on the Snareway to Snevin?
Probably like
I want to say like 70%.
no, it's closer to half. Nah, like a third. I'll say a third. It was a while. It took me
I
like
only
a
have
week
3
to
hours.
actually do that. Yeah, it's because you're lame.
It's $3.
This
That's, well, actually, no, it was gifted to me. So
Yeah, see,
You spent nothing on this. You lost nothing.
I like this game so much. It is one of 2 games that I went out of my way to platinum. And it's the only game in my favorites tab on Steam.
Speaking of games,
wow.
It's
It's one
the
of the
only
only
game in
games
your
I've reviewed.
favorites? What the?
That
Use
way,
the
Snail
favorites
Sim is
tab.
always at the top of my screen. I
Use
boot
the
up Steam
favorites
and it's
tab.
right there. It's waiting for
to
me.
just filter between games that I play and games that I don't.
All right. So this next, we're going to do. This is going to be actually. No, we'll do this first. It'll make more sense. How loud should I be? I had an idea for an intro for this point, but we got started late, so I have no idea if anyone's asleep yet. So I'm gonna be quiet right now. Well, so
Just be as loud as you can.
well, that was
honestly.
the goal.
If they
that
yell at
was
you,
the
that's
goal.
content, bro.
That's true. 26-year-old still lives with parents. Mother gets mad with desk slamming joke.
It's like that one dude who was like, who's I don't remember what game he was playing. I think it was Grand Theft Auto, but he was shitting himself on stream. The lady was yelling at him for that, and it's like that's just content. He was on that grind. That's content right there.
All right, so I am going to be quiet. If we had gotten started an hour earlier, I would do a thing where I'd yell, "Oh shit, it's the news," while making it sounding like someone's knocking really loudly. But I'm not going to do that this time. It's
we're
news.
not on Discord, so I don't have the soundboard to play a knocking sound.
Now, this is exactly, this is one of those areas that I've done a lot of work to, because a lot of people don't find the news interesting, so I turned it into a fucking game. It's a game now.
Boy,
drinking game.
No.
Take a shot every time something stupid happens.
It is very simple.
Challenge.
Every one of us brings real news, a headline. We all say it, and then obviously there can be duplicates, right? If that happens, the points double. So every news story is worth 1 point. If two people bring the same one, it's now worth 2 points.
Is this like real world news, or is this like game?
Yes, no, I mean, it's gaming news mostly.
Okay.
Oh.
Because like I only have bad news.
No.
I have to do is look up like a Lordaman thing.
Well, a lot of gaming news is just bad news. So bad news is fine. Just, I would say, getting political on this podcast is probably fine, but try to keep it to gaming, right? Like if Trump specifically says again that like gaming is the cause of all evil, then we'll talk about that. But
Okay.
if Trump shat himself, we're not gonna bother.
Okay, but like, isn't it Australia that is the only country with a prime minister that shit himself at a McDonald's parking lot?
I don't know.
Isn't that like the joke?
That the Canadian prime minister has done blackface.
What prime minister hasn't done blackface?
This
though?
is true. This is true. Okay.
All right, we're getting a little political.
Yeah, so every single time there's a duplicate, all points are raised. So if
do we say these all at the same time, or
no, we'll do them in order.
Yeah, we overlap each other. Man,
wait, we're doing this now, or is this something we do?
No, we're doing this now, and the points can be spent to do things later in future episodes. So there's a reason you want to do this.
So I want the duplicate.
Yes.
Or do you get points for being more unique? I missed that.
There are points for being more unique if there are duplicates. If we all bring 4 different ones, then we're going to just quickly talk about all of them. But the goal is to make this more fun, but also faster, because I know news is a little boring. I understand this, and it also can be like an hour of news. I understand this.
That's not even our record for news.
I know. So, the goal is that, if all of us bring our own, then we're going to spin, and only one actually gets talked about. Right? We'll bring up the headlines, and doing that, that is us talking about, like, hey, this is a bad thing, blah, 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 here's the news headline. But then we'll actually have a conversation about just one of them. However, and every single time we'll spin. There's a little bit of randomness, right?
Okay.
If 2 people bring the same one, then the spin is now 50% of the chances not one. It's worth 2 points. However, if it lands on someone else's, theirs is also worth 2 points, but they don't share the points with anyone else.
So this is essentially getting one news topic to discuss?
Yes.
Okay.
We're all gonna basically bring one. Max 4. We might end up with just one if we all bring the exact same one. Anyway, and it's just turning news into a game. That's all I'm doing here.
Okay.
So again, if 2 people bring the same story, they share points. They both, if it lands on that one.
Specific games, or
Just any game news.
I wish so bad that I could remember the news that I had learned 2 days ago.
There's so much news. I have like 4 news items.
I don't.
I have one that I could talk about. It's not a long thing though.
All right. I need to finish explaining these fucking rules.
No, you don't.
If 2 people,
Just like please like write these down.
I will.
I'm like
I will.
losing
Yes.
track of this.
If 2
Thank
people
you.
bring the same, if 2 people bring the same story and it lands, both people get 2 points. But if it lands on someone else, then they are the only one that gets 2 points. If it lands on not that 50% one. So there is a game here where if 3 of us bring the same story, and one doesn't, there's a chance for 3 of us to get 3 points. Or we could all 3 of us get fucked over and one person will get 3 points if somehow it lands on that one.
I understand now.
Yes. So,
Okay.
that's the thing is if we all bring the exact same one, then I'm just
Doesn't nobody get points?
no. It just all of us get 1 point. We're just so in sync.
Oh.
But there's no game there, so we all just get 1 point. The why points? These points could be spent after oh shit, it's the news. Is an open spot where you can spend 5 points to do something. This could be anything.
5 points.
5 points. You have to build up 5 points, and if you do
5
that, you can
points
spend
to make
it.
Lad post a dick pic on Twitter.
No, no, not that.
Yeah, well, you said I could do anything.
In the podcast, we're not gonna nothing outside the podcast, right? Purely podcast entertainment here. So let's say I've saved up a bunch of points, and Facey just says something so fucking stupid that the only way I can make myself feel better is I will spend 5 points and force him to 1v1 me on Rust in the podcast.
Oh no!
This could be maybe the news thing. It's not just that. It really is basically anything that's done in the podcast. Maybe you did lose that day's news spin and you really want to talk about it, spend 5 points to talk about that news item. Maybe you want us to all do a fucking Mountain Dew tier list. I don't know. That's literally it. You save points, and then after the news segment, if you want to spend points and add a little length to the podcast, do something fun, you can. Now, that's not going to happen for the first couple episodes because all of us are starting at 0 fucking points.
I like points.
But yes, so that's what it is. We have turned it into a game so we can do things in the podcast if we want to spend the points. That's it.
Neat. Very interesting.
Spinner. I have thought about, I was like, how do I make the news interesting? How do I do?
And take theoretically less time to get through.
How did Wheel of Names know this? I just opened up Wheel of Names on Google just to get a spinner, right? And Dusty and Fancy is already auto in there.
Well, it's from when you did the.
Yes, that is exactly why. I used this to get the order of us doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And I just didn't delete them and it remembered that. I had a moment of like,
that was
Google knows
that
too
was the
much.
competition for who was going last.
Yeah.
Well, dump trucks look big and strong and sturdy.
Yeah, really no.
Why does he talk so loud?
Mostly with
The dump truck?
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I could hear.
I know he's. I'm wearing over-ear headphones with noise canceling.
It's
I can
all right.
still hear it.
The podcast viewers are allowed to talk about the dump truck in the comments. All right. Oh shit! It's the news. Let's go.
Slamming noise.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna make it sound like someone was knocking. Thump, 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 and then me yell, "Oh shit! It's the news!" But again, it's too late. We started late this time. So we're gonna go backwards. Wulfryk. You got any news?
I do. So, anyone here who plays games probably knows about what happened with the whole Helldivers community.
Yes.
I thought we were reading a headline.
Well,
Listen.
I do have a headline for you, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
The community manager that told people to write bad reviews got fired.
Oh, I heard about that.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard about
I didn't
that.
know
That
that.
makes me sad. Yeah, I
Alright.
remember that.
Do you have more information than just that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because that's what you're going to say if you win the spin. I'm just
I
making sure
know.
it really, if it is just the headline, maybe not the best thing to bring because you've already said everything there is. So if you win and you get floor time and you have nothing to add, we're gonna make fun of you.
I'm good. Make fun of me.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I'm sitting here thinking, like, what am I gonna say? Because I really can't think of any gaming news that isn't like spoiled entirely by the headline.
Now, Fancy,
Hmm?
game mechanics. Do you just copy Wulfryk's to get that worth 2 points, or do you
No.
bring your own to make 2 points 50% of the spin?
But
You
I don't
both
want to
get 2
talk about
points.
that. I want to talk about something else.
Well, exactly. These are mechanics. This game has actual mechanics and deep thought and planning and
Oh, yeah, it sure
strategies.
does.
Fancy,
Yeah.
what news are you bringing?
I have a headline.
All right.
Microsoft closes Redfall developer Arcane, Austin, Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks, and more on devastating cuts at Bethesda.
That is one of the 2 I brought. So I could maybe. Eelayne, your news.
I'm gonna copy Love's. So
Okay.
You want to copy mine?
Okay. So now everyone's worth 2. But
Oh, you copy.
but 2 people could get 2 points because they've shared one. Do I want to be on my own or go with I'm going to go with Fancy.
Yeah, you want points.
Wow.
I was going to be ever so slightly different and talk about the 2K layoffs that happened right before the Bethesda one, but the Bethesda one is like
Fresh.
Well, originally I was gonna do I was gonna talk about the Blade and Sorcery, but the update to Blade and Sorcery is like I would just say one sentence at the end of the day. Crystal Hunt is pretty close. They're very close to actually releasing a real game mode to Blade and Sorcery, so VR gaming would be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Well, you missed your chance because you didn't put that.
Yeah. Well, no, because I was like, that's it. That's the news.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's why I ended up not doing the 2K one, is because it is just there were layoffs, but at least they have a good reason, kind of, quote unquote. At the beginning of the year, they said they wouldn't, and then they bought the company who makes
Should
Borderlands.
you keep saying this
Yes.
until we know who's what?
Yeah, this isn't the one I brought.
Well, that's not the one.
Yeah, I was just explaining that why I didn't go with that one. And it's like that one's more understandable because at the beginning of the year, they're like, we are confident we're not going to fire anyone this year. And then they bought the Borderlands company. And then they were like, well, because we made a surprise purchase of Borderlands company, we got to lay some people up.
So
and that's
they
all
bought
that was.
Gearbox?
Yeah. From the grasp of the big company that's falling apart slowly. That owns a lot of I forget what the name of the large
Embracer?
Yeah, Embracer. They bought it from Embracer. So Borderlands is saved from that shit show. So it's one of those things where it's like, does layoff suck? Yes, but that one is like, but we saved an IP possibly. Like, yeah, they bought it and immediately confirmed. Borderlands 4 confirmed we're doing it. Yep. So, all right, we're spinning.
I wish I could do the wheel.
No, you're not allowed to.
You could like screen share it.
No, it's Wulfryk and Eelayne.
God.
Yeah.
No.
I'll let Love take it away.
I'm a champion.
So now-
okay.
So do they both talk about it, or
Yeah, they can share. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
And we get to
We're too-
react and be like,
Cool.
wow, oh my god, news.
do
It's
get
the
to react.
news.
It is the news.
Oh shit. Oh shit. It's the news.
Okay, so as I mentioned before with the title of this article, one of the community representatives, community leads for Helldivers 2 at Arrowhead got fired. His username was Spitz. You might also know him as the guy who really antagonized people when this first all happened.
Which I kind of almost don't blame him for anymore.
Well,
because like
so
he
that
didn't
was-
know about the countries thing.
Yeah. So the other thing was as far as he was aware, it was like a 2-minute thing that anyone could do, and so people were complaining, and he's like, "Yeah, cry about it, whatever." Like he riled people up, and then came out and apologized later. He's like, "Yeah, so I was wrong."
So
And
one of the countries that
this.
you would be able to play Helldivers, literally Japan. Like,
Yes.
it's like there was a bunch of countries.
And then it turns out that he's not like a huge industry guy. Like he really is just a community guy because that's how they found him in the first place. But he got Games Radar did an interview with him, and he basically mentions that like he knew this was kind of a risk, right? Like telling people to refund the game or downvote it, like poof. Your company doesn't look too favorably on that.
Kind of a necessary risk though. People like it. People like the game more for it, I think.
Yeah, well, he made it very clear that him leaving Arrowhead was not a willing like it was not a voluntary exit, but he's leaving. He's trying to leave on good terms because he still loves the game and the community. And he said that he he was a community representative, like that was his job, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole situation just feels like this response was the only way they could get out of it while looking good in the eyes of the community. Was by actively telling people to downvote them to put pressure on Sony. Because otherwise Sony would have just won, and like a fair amount of countries would stop being able to play Helldivers entirely, which arguably would have been worse for their company in the long run anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think nobody but Sony knows why Sony was trying to do that. Well, that's probably not true, but still.
Numbers. Stonks.
Yeah.
It really was like, it's basically been confirmed that it's because they don't have any like super big games this year, so they needed something to show all the higher ups that they have to answer to. Like, look, we might not be making a ton of money on games right now, but look at all these people we got to go into PSN that might not even have a PlayStation. Look, we're like multi-platform now, and it backfired completely.
Yeah, well, because like they aren't multi-platform. What can you do with a PSN account without a PlayStation?
So that's the funny thing, is this came out a little early. The plan is if you have a game on PC and you have a PlayStation account, and with crossplay and everything, they're like really going into like, if you have crossplay on, you should have the opportunity to be like as much PlayStation as you can on PC. To the point where their goal is, and I think this is coming out sometime this year, you can earn PlayStation trophies playing on the PC if your PSN account is signed up.
Huh.
Like they've got a whole overlay and everything coming to do that.
Will I still have to buy the game on both platforms though?
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually that's
then
positive.
I'm much more okay with that.
But so yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, if it was just forced from the beginning, no one would have this problem. But you were lax on it, and now this thing that you want everyone to use is coming, but now you can't force retroactively, especially since you sold it in 177 countries that they cannot do that.
Yeah. Another thing I do wonder is, do you think this was an Arrowhead choice, or do you think it was a Sony making Arrowhead thing?
Oh, it's fully Sony. The CEO told
I meant the firing. I meant the firing of Spitz.
Oh,
probably Sony.
That it's Sony. Yeah, as far as I can tell, Sony's not super happy with someone in their ranks going, yeah, you should totally review bomb the game so we get our way.
I mean,
it's like it's based. I love that decision, but yeah, it kind of makes sense that you did get fired. It sucks, but like
he makes a point that like he knew that it was like
They should just rehire him
knew that
in like
was
6
gonna
months.
Yeah. All right. Is that it for the news?
That is it.
I believe so.
2 points for Eelayne and Wulfryk both.
Dang it.
Yay!
All right. So now, in this section, this would be where you would spend your points. But instead, we are doing a little bit of a tier list. I'm not sharing it on the screen or anything. I will share it on Twitter.
I'm going to spend 1 point to make Dusty breathe manually.
No.
See what you've
Do not.
Fuck it. I'm taking one of your points away because I'm doing it.
No!
Fuck you. I'm kidding.
Joke's on you.
That only takes away her points, though, right? Like, that doesn't use my points.
Yes.
Okay.
She specifically
should've taken
said,
one point for that.
I spend 1 point. So she spent it. It's gone.
Back 1
I
point.
long as
spend
it's
1
not my
point to make
points,
your
we're
balls
fine.
itch.
No,
That's
think
not
that's how that
this
works.
love.
Oh my! I just threw this little mouse cat toy that I have because my cat plays fetch, and I accidentally just nailed her in the face. with it.
All right. So we are going to do as a catch up, we're going to do a tier list of the previous 13 episodes as a quick catch up.
Catch up?
Catch up. As a quick mustard.
I don't remember any of the.
Well, that's why we have this.
Yeah, so most of them you weren't there for, but one of them I recommended to get you on an episode, so I'll hand you that one. It's a game you know. So you can do a quick description of that game, and then we're all just gonna do a quick, like, off the top of our head, what would you rate it? That's all it's gonna be.
So if you're making a tier list, do you come up with like a median rating and then put it there, or
no? It's going to be the usual S, A, B, C, D, and
yeah. But
terrible.
If we all
Don't
give
worry
it a
about it.
different
Don't
rating, where
worry
do you
about
put
yeah,
it?
then I will. I haven't decided. Let's decide that right now. Should I try to average it out, or should I just have 4 of them and post them on the Twitter? And just all 4 of them.
You know
like,
what?
This is Eelayne's.
Having 4 of them is kind of cool. I
Okay.
like that idea.
I'll do that.
Just like 4 different tier lists.
I mean, as long as you keep them correct in your head.
I'm writing them down.
Cool.
I didn't know you could be so organized, Dusty.
It's
You've
only
really grown since we first met.
it's only because of Windows sticky notes. I promise. That's it. I have Windows sticky notes and real sticky notes, and they're just everywhere. I don't know why on my monitor right now there's a sticky note that all it says is $240. I don't know what that's for, but there's a sticky note.
I have I want to get a label gun and just label everything in my room, including each individual tile.
You also need to decide how many tiers you're doing. S through what?
S, A, B, C, D, and F. The usual.
Okay.
For mine, throw one under there that says "didn't play," because I will not rank a game that I did not play poorly or well.
Yeah, that, like I said, I do feel bad because you were only here for 1 episode, so that's why I was gonna let you do the description of one of them, so you at least have something to do during this.
She got to hear me talk about all these games.
Well, I also probably played a lot of these games anyway. So
Yeah.
Still.
So yeah, I could put did not play if you haven't played any of these.
Yeah.
All right, so we are doing them in order of the game's release. So the very first game was my recommendation. It was not a backlog game because there was no way for us to have the ending where we recommend a game first without an episode. So it was just Call of Duty Vanguard. A Call of Duty Vanguard, Sledgehammer's 2000 and 2021 shooter. It's an F.
I'll agree with that.
I didn't play this one, but you could throw it an F for me too because
All right.
because I remember you guys hating it so bad.
Yeah, F.
Just throw it in.
It didn't ran and everything was on fire always. The only
That's
thing that
true.
game did good was it had an interesting spin on shipment. Shipment. Everything was made out of wood, so all the crates could actually be destroyed and stuff. And there was a second row of walkways on the top of all the shipping containers as well.
That is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's the only map where everything being on fire made sense. Because at the end, it was almost like a flat map. It was actually pretty
Oh,
funny.
yeah, I forgot that game was 99% firebomb grenades.
Yeah. We'd be complaining about fire, and then season 4 would come out and be like, introducing the ultimate Molotov. It's 5 times more fire. And
It's only in the paid battle pass.
Like everyone's like, this game's too much fire, and then to be like, introducing the new we have added flamethrowers. It's like, why more fire? Wulfryk, what do you rate Vanguard?
F.
Yeah, I think that's going to be our worst game. There's a second game that I think all of us are going to rate low, but I think that's going to be our worst one right off the bat.
Because, like, usually with Call of Duty, I can have, like, a little bit of fun, especially if I start doing, like, really unorthodox weapon builds. Not so in that game.
I don't know what you're talking about. The whole thing with that game was, look, you can ruin your favorite World War II gun.
It's true.
That didn't mean any of what was funny about that game is most people ended up not doing that because generally it made every single gun worse.
Yeah.
It didn't like, at least Modern Warfare 3, there are reasons to fuck up a gun. They're really words in Vanguard. The challenge, you wanted to just use base gun, have Molotov. That was the game.
Well, it also really had the issue of it's not really an issue. It's an issue that I personally take with the game, but that is just I don't like that holographic sites just exist.
It's alternate history. It's fine.
Very alternate history.
Oh my god, is Call of Duty
alt history.
We don't see Hitler in that game. Is that the World War II where Hitler was an artist? Is it Vanguard?
No, because the Nazis still exist. So
yeah, but what if it's just a different guy? What if even if Hitler wasn't there?
It's actually
Nazis still
Smittler
rise?
this time.
It's Smittler.
Did you say Schmittler?
Heldorf Smittler.
All right, can we move on?
Yes. Wulfryk, it's a game you like. It's Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced.
S tier.
Great
S. Fancy, what did you think about Tactics Advanced?
C.
Eelayne, have you played Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced?
No, but I wish I've never had a means to play it. It looks good though.
It's an emulator.
Yeah.
No, don't use an
I've never
emulator.
had-
That's illegal. You gotta
Yeah,
use your
that's-
officially licensed Nintendo computer attachment for
All
your
right.
Game Boy Advance.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. Collecting Dust here says emulation is always ethical.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's generally true.
If you don't own the game, then you can't steal it.
If you want to make yourself feel better, then buy it and then emulate it and pretend you dumped the ROM yourself.
I mean, that's actually kind of one of the things that I do. Is like I like to play games that I've already played when it comes to emulation.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I do it because like some games just aren't accessible anymore.
as much as I've never played it, I've watched Dirg play it a lot, and it looks pretty good.
I am also going to give it a C. Because
I thought you would give it lower.
No, I had a lot of problems with the game, but even once I figured that out, most of my problems were the same problems you had. So
The rules were stupid?
Yeah, I didn't like the rules that changed every area. I really didn't.
If you check them beforehand, it's fine.
You didn't like the judge rules?
No.
No.
That makes sense. They're fun, but I like from what I've seen, they can be kind of intrusive.
If
Just
you're
a
not
little
preparing.
bit.
If you guys ever wanted, there is a mod out there that just straight up removes the law system.
That might be better. It might be. All right. Episode 3, game recommended by Fancy. The first episode to have been lost. You cannot go back and watch this episode. It's infamous Second Son.
Oh,
I have played that actually. It's
What-
a great game.
I read it first because I picked it, silly.
I know.
No. What-
That's why I didn't give a rating.
Fancy.
A.
A? All right. Then from here, it's kind of a free for all.
I'll give it a B because I liked it a lot, but it's been a long time since I played it, and I've heard other infamous games apparently are better written. And I will admit that the writing in the game wasn't wasn't the strong suit, but the gameplay is phenomenal. It's basically just it's basically the same controls as Prototype, which is a game I love, but with more fun visual effects.
Honestly, I'll give it an A. Like, admittedly, my Final Fantasy Tactics rating is skewed because that's my childhood, and I love that game to pieces. But for the most part, I really enjoyed Second Son. I think my only big complaint about it is just like the concrete power is useless unless you're evil.
I actually agree with this. That is true.
Because you get the way you recharge your concrete power is hurting civilians.
No, you hurt the enemies.
No,
You can
it
hurt the
charges
enemies
off of
for it, I'm pretty sure.
civilians.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
can
what I
hurt the-
remember, but
You can hurt the enemies for it too. but
I
I'm pretty
thought
sure
you
have to
literally
actually
sucked it
kill them
off
with
the
Yeah.
concrete enemies.
Yeah,
That's how you got
you
it.
can, but you get better charge and with less effort from the civilians. They're the only way you get like
I
a
just never
passive
used that, I
regen,
guess.
like when you go and suck out digital from a TV or neon from a sign. The
Yeah.
civilians are your version of that for concrete.
Oh,
You
I
don't
didn't
get to
know
like
that.
pull it out of the road or anything. It's people.
I didn't know that.
What's funny about that to me, Infamous Second Son to me, is that it's also displaying a difference between how we rank games, because I rank games like that I love as A, and if it's like a perfect game to me, it's going to be S. Whereas C is a game that it was inoffensive. B
Oh.
is a game that was good.
So just really quickly, for those listening, this is a quick, again, for a lot of these games, we have not thought of them in 2 years. This is just a really quick
Yes.
recap.
Yeah.
I can already tell you these ratings have gone up again.
Really?
Meanwhile, I remember mine, and I'm going to give it again. It's a C. I really liked this game, but if you remember, we found it to be not nearly as smooth as we thought it would be. Just all the time, you would go to grapple something or use one of those pipes that let you teleport to the other side of buildings, and you just hit the wall and be like, no, you can't do that right now. You can't. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that.
It just
Well-
wasn't nearly as smooth.
Still B.
I was gonna say I didn't have that problem because neon, you can just run up the side of any surface.
I
Yeah.
do remember that Smoke was one of like my favorite. Oh, actually, no, Digital was my favorite to use as a kid.
I think though when I played, I used Smoke, and Smoke was just, it had its problem. So for me, that game, I really liked it. I liked the story. I didn't find like any particular boss to be so overpowered that it was frustrating or anything. It really was just like, I'm pretty sure the 2 games on PS3 were smoother feeling.
Also,
I
like the progression.
I am glad that you actually like got to give it a chance though, because I know prior to this, you had some serious reservations about playing it because of the implications of what it means
I
for
mean,
the previous games.
I still have that problem, but at least it was well written enough that I somewhat care about the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the
there-
characters were pretty good.
There is a reason that my avatar
overall
screen
writing
is
is-
in Cole McGrath's jacket and not the wolf jacket, though. There's
Delson's
some-
vest.
Okay, but Delson's like bird motif was cool.
It was. Oh, you know what? No, it's an F. Spray painting mechanic was bad. I'm kidding.
I loved the spray paint.
Okay, spray painting mechanic was genuinely. I wish it was its own game.
All right.
Actually, move me up to an A just because of spray painting.
All right. That's my reason to make an F. And you're like, no, it's a good game because of that. All right, Eelayne, this is the game I'm handing you. It's Undertale, a game recommended by me,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
could get you on that episode. I played it on the Vita.
S tier game. Story is great. Characters are great. Combat mechanics are fun. If you know, if you're not into bullet hells, but you know, it's also kind of a social sim. And if you don't like social sims, well, you could just murder everybody. You don't have to worry about it. Something there for everyone.
Anyone else?
See, I've painted myself into a corner here by rating games so highly off the bat.
Just
Because-
go with your gut. The other episodes are there. Go back and listen to the ones that were there. I'll preface the ones that are lost. I remember the reviews not being that high for Second Son, but we didn't hate the game.
Yeah.
But that episode you physically cannot listen to because it's gone forever.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a B because I've given too many A's.
Who cares? Just give it an A if you want to.
No.
You have too many A's.
You-
You give an S and an A.
You've given an F, an S, and an A.
Exactly. See, I gotta keep it going even. I'm gonna give it a B, but here's my reasoning. Undertale thrives on replayability, but I never really felt like wanting to replay it after I played it through the way I wanted to. And trying to check out other playthroughs made me actually not enjoy the game very much because I felt terrible. And I know that that's not the game's fault, that's my fault.
Yeah.
But
No,
thus,
you
based
don't
on my
have
enjoyment,
to
I gotta give it a
replay.
B.
I played through it like twice.
I know.
Fancy.
B.
B. All right. I think I also gave that one a C or a B. I'm probably gonna give it a B because that one, I generally knew nothing about the game, and even when we played it in like 2021, it was still like I knew nothing. So all the things everyone else knew about it, I didn't. So generally, when I fucked up and I was like, I'm gonna restart the game, and Flowey's like, no, the fuck you ain't. I was like, oh, okay.
So it's like, I saw you.
I saw what you did. Does this make you feel better? Oh, you didn't want to kill her, did you? Well, guess fucking what? I know what you did. That was generally a surprise to me because I didn't know that happened in that game.
Yeah,
So
I actually love that about that game too. How meta it can be.
yeah, so I'm gonna give it a B. I told myself I'd go back and finish it. I didn't, but I did like what I played. Well, I'm going to rate this one for Wulfryk because they're trying to keep things even. So they have officially given their first C to Doom 2016. It's forced. No, I'm kidding.
No. Hold on, I actually think I gotta take the rose tinted glasses, the Mars tinted glasses off.
Mars tinted glasses.
It's been so long since I've played that.
Oh, hey, there's my COD notes, actually. Okay, I do remember COD now. I didn't make... I was so bad at taking notes for this stuff, but I did start taking notes. Now, honestly, Doom 2016.
Did you have to turn up your
Oh,
volume?
you
to
saw
call
I
it
thought I
your-
turned it down. I'm so sorry.
Did you have-
No, you gain boosted.
Your gain was super high, and then we
so
just.
sorry.
It was-
I got my left and my right mixed up. I'm not a smart man.
No, you know what? Doom 2016. I'm gonna finally double up on one. I'm gonna give that a B because I really like Doom 2016, but it's not as great as I remember it being on the first playthrough, and I remember feeling that way.
I'm gonna give it an A. And my only justification is bloodlust.
Hey. Fancy.
I will give it
An A. I believe I gave that B like or that B. I'm pretty sure I gave it like a B. I had fun again, similar to Second
Didn't
Son.
you complain about the gun or something?
No,
You have a problem getting a boss.
that I if I remember right, it was early on, but I did get to a point where I was able to handle most things because at that point I knew what each gun did and what they were best used for it.
Okay.
Because I had generally not played a game like that, though, it did take me a little longer to get a hold of it. But my problem ended up being there were times where I was like, I feel slow. And that was basically it, as I didn't feel as fast as I kind of wanted to be. So that's the only actual, like, quote unquote criticism I remember having of it is I just feel slow.
Great
Fancy.
soundtrack.
I made that hammer.
Oh, God War.
Yeah.
It's an axe, by the way. Not
Oh,
hammer.
shit. I made that X.
S tier.
S.
Great game.
Never
Oh,
played.
Ugh.
Heard good things about it though. I've never played it myself.
Put the second one on S tier too.
You could recommend that one. It is old enough now, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
It won Game of the Year last year. So it's
No,
at
it
least
was the year before, I think.
Dad of boy.
Oh yeah, no, it was the previous year because the most recent one, because he won, he got to give the award.
Yeah, he
to someone
gave
else.
us
Yeah.
award.
So so based on just the awards, it's over a year old now.
Think about it.
Just the only rule for a recommended game is it has to be at least a year old. Wulfryk.
Oof.
Dad of boy.
Dad of boy.
I remember not having as much fun as I hoped. It's a very good looking game.
Didn't you?
And the story's
stay
pretty
so long?
compelling.
So I remember a lot of these episodes because I'm the one that like re-listens to them, make sure they're postable, which is why some aren't because they just weren't, and edited them and stuff. I remember you did not get that far into the game because you would just look around.
Yeah, I got super sidetracked. The world is beautiful.
Yeah, the moment they gave you the canoe, you were like, "Fuck the story."
It's true. It's true. That's Final Fantasy hammered that into me. Explore. I'll give it a B. Exploring was fun.
I'm realizing out of everyone, I'm giving the lowest reviews. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna give it.
You also know like what we felt at the time more because you've seen these.
That is true.
I am trying to remember through the nostalgia and also thinking, do I rate it lower than Doom 2016? Did I rate Doom 2016 too high?
There, I turned the volume correctly that time. I'm very good. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm pretty sure I gave it a C last time, but the memory of me playing it has gone up, so I think I'll give it a B. The next game was my recommendation. Forgive Me, Father.
Oh.
I'm gonna give that one an A. I really liked Forgive Me, Father. Little.
I never played it, so unfortunate.
2D.
It's like
pixel art boomer shooter.
Yeah, boomer shooter. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I do like boomer shooters. They're very fun. Makes me think of what's it called? Compound, which is like a VR boomer shooter.
Yeah.
I will also give it an A. I really like that game.
Fancy.
I'm thinking here.
Here's a fun.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, while you think about that, I would like to remind you that I ended up I don't think I finished it, but I got really close to finishing it. And you were watching me play, and I do remember you being terrified for how I was playing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember you being like, "How the fuck is he?"
The way you play gave me genuine anxiety.
I was having
Um,
fun. I'm sorry.
I'll give it a B.
All right. The next game was Wulfryk's recommendation, Into the Breach.
Ooh.
Yo.
Did I play this?
Giving that an S. I really love that game. The graphics are beautiful. It's very fun gameplay. I've played it like I've done a lot of run-throughs on both my Switch and PC.
I was gonna say it's got a lot of replayability.
I am also going to give that an S.
Yeah.
That is a game that I went out of my way to find the limited run edition of it, and I play it on my Switch all the time now.
I don't think I played that one.
Good game.
You might like it.
I probably would.
Mobile Suit Baba, did you play that?
Mobile Suit Bob.
Another
that-
thing I highly recommend.
Yeah, that's just generally what if we took Baba as you, but put it as a skin over Into the Breach. So if you like Mobile Suit Baba, you would like Into the Breach.
That's
I
where that
kind of want to play Mobile Suit Baba.
that's where that worm sticker I have in the Discord is from. The We Did It.
Fancy. What would you rate it?
See, now I don't know if I want to give it an S like everyone else, or if I want to
Just give it whatever you actually feel. If it's only a B to you, give it a B.
I was just gonna give it a step below and give it an A
An A, alrighty.
because it is good. I did enjoy it.
All right. So now we get into the next couple games is where I think we're gonna have some more lower reviews. Fancy, you recommended BioShock Infinite?
Yeah. I've played all three of them at this point, and it's probably my least favorite.
Okay.
So,
Let's see. All right.
I was prepared to judge you very harshly.
no, I've gone black and two. Like two.
Yeah, like generally, as just you saying it's my least favorite, I'd give the other two an S and this one an A. If it would be like at least you like the other two better, acceptable.
You know,
First one was my favorite.
I'm gonna give it a D. I didn't like it. I
D for
tried
didn't like it.
It's true.
I'm with Lad on C because like the other games were so much better than it made it feel offensively bad.
This was the third time I had tried playing and beating this game, and I did beat it, and I felt nothing at the end.
I think it's funny. I'm going with Wulfryk, giving it a fat D. I did not like the feel of the shooting. I did not like a bunch of the enemies. I did not like the guns. I did not like the story.
Is because I didn't mind the gameplay. I just didn't like anything else.
I did not like the gameplay. Too many times the strategy was, hold on, let me get on this rail and just fly away for a second.
Well, that's
and
fair.
just go in circles around them.
I used charge a whole lot, and that was it.
Charge till the end.
Yeah.
They did nothing before that moment. Obviously.
They just didn't do anything
Before
else.
that, it was just crows. I just used crows all the time.
DCCD. All right. Next, I made a mistake and recommended a game. You know what?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Is this one of the lost games?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
1,
Lost
2,
Planet?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so episode 10 was lost. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
Ugh.
I did not like this game. I've heard everyone love it. I've only seen one like review that was not glowing of it, and that was H Bomber Guy. And I'm on their side. I'm giving this thing a D. I really did not like it.
I never played it, so
Yeah, I'm also giving it a D.
You guys were able to play more of it than I was, so because I gave up way sooner than you did. So I'll give it an F.
Would you like to hear my notes about it real quick? Because I did dig those up.
Hold on. You gave it a D, right?
Yeah.
Then yes.
It's
tell us
very
what
short notes.
Yeah.
So for one, the notes file was labeled Deus Ex Asshole Divided. And here are my notes in order. Gunplay fucking sucks. Aiming feels weak. Vaccines cause autism. Illuminati exists. The elusive Janus. This game takes control away too much. So much talking. The Icarus Fall. Just on its own. The Icarus Fall. I got fed up, started riding the normal people train. It's funny. No respect for the police. They got in the way of evidence collection. I killed them all.
I killed them all.
Those are my notes for this game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, generally the game was fun in the first area.
Yeah.
And then you move to second and third, and like just nowhere is as there's just not as many options for like parkouring and stuff. You generally are like, I'm on my knees hacking doors game.
Well,
that is
and
the game.
also the Icarus Fall. Why is it a cutscene every time?
Yeah. Yeah. The game is just like, hold on, you cannot play us anymore. We have to show you how cool you are. It's like, I don't feel cool though, because I'm not doing this. I'm generally not in control right now.
But you have to think the protagonist is cool, and you're the protagonist, so you are cool by
The dude's
proxy.
got glasses built into his face. How cool can he be?
Why are you locked in the bathroom?
All right.
Your gain is up.
Yeah, your gain went up.
What?
I hear your fan, so I'm assuming your gain went up.
No, you're good again.
I think my computer was generally just dying for a second. It's fine.
Your computer is having a heart attack.
OBS and 2 sticky notes is really hard, okay?
I love the power combo of OBS and 2 sticky notes.
And we still have 3 more games, but this next one is the last episode you can listen to. The last 2 were lost.
Yep.
So this episode was Rot Flesh.
Never
Oh,
played.
yeah, that game was pretty wicked, actually.
I don't
Was
remember
that the
who
game where you guys
recommended that.
that I watched like Love play where he was like taking organs for
Yeah, it's
people?
the the flesh punk boomer shooter.
Yeah. Wulfryk recommended
Gross.
that one. It's funny. I behind the scenes was like, Wulfryk, you should recommend this game. And
Yeah.
they were like, I'll recommend this game. So
And then I did, and I actually had a lot of fun playing it. I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna give it another B.
a B.
It was fun.
I was mildly horrified watching Dirk play.
Was the horrifying part because I had lungs stacked in my torso like a Tetris board, or was it just everything?
Yeah, it's funny because like Tetris prepared you well for this.
How many lungs can I fit in my chest cavity?
It's probably a few. How do you fit that many lungs in there realistically?
The answer
you-
was 5 and a stomach.
Yeah, you take out other things you don't need.
Yeah.
Hate
Oh,
that.
all right.
What
Fancy, what do you think?
D, because for multiple idea of it.
Hold on.
The
I hate to
visual
admit
growth?
this. I didn't hear what rating you gave it because I sneezed.
D,
D?
Yeah.
because the visuals are gross. The whole idea is gross, and I never even made it past the first level, or whatever it is,
Okay.
because it was difficult, and I just didn't like the whole organ transplant thing.
Yeah. I really wanted to like it. I'm gonna give it a C. I remember my problem being generally each area kind of had a way you needed to play. You couldn't you couldn't, at least for me, I couldn't keep my build and just keep using that one. I would enter a new area and there'd be a bunch of new enemies, and I'd have to just rip out all of my innards and replace them with new ones. And basically every area I'd have to rebuild my character. And I wasn't into that.
I just stuck with a bunch of lungs and a little bit of fat to fill in the gaps and a shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, allergies are hitting me right now. I don't know why.
I am the lung man. My power is lungs.
I have 5 lungs. What are you gonna do about it?
All right. The next episode is a sad one because I really liked this one. Recommended by Fancy. It was or was this, hold on, was this me? No, Deus Ex was me. So yeah, recommended by Fancy. Dead Cells.
Dead Cells was good.
Great game. S.
S.
A.
S.
You know, I'm gonna be the controversial one. I'm gonna give it a B. It was fun. Okay, it was fun, but me and platformers don't have a good time.
It's a platforming roguelike.
Yeah.
Oh, I suck at platformers too. That's why I gave it an A and not an S. Because I could recognize real knows
Platforming
real.
really isn't even that hard.
No, but I just don't like platforming.
Oh. You didn't
I'm
hear
just
anything.
bad at it.
I am also giving it an A. I'm really sad that episode's gone. An episode that only one person's going to be sad that's lost is Wulfryk. Wulfryk, the last episode, they skipped my turn. It was like at the end of the episode, it was like, I recommend this, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Lost Planet.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
we played Lost Planet.
Well,
And also, I
I'm
joined on for
remembering.
that one too. I remember.
Yeah. Lost Planet. I'm gonna give it a B. It's a fun game. I like the second one better. I recognize that it's a little problematic in everything it did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a C because this game just straight up did not work on my computer. I spent the whole time trying to get it to work, and it finally started working like a day before we were doing the episode. I was
Also,
only able to play so much.
The final boss is the worst boss fight I've ever had
Oh
in a
my,
video game.
yes. It is.
It took me so many tries.
Smoking. Who's fucking smoking? I heard a lighter open.
I have a lighter that I play with.
Smoke.
Why are you playing with a lighter? Get a bong. Do something cool with it.
Do a 360 no
I have a feeling that if Fancy got a bong, we would not have a fourth host. I feel like it'd be down to 3 again.
No, yeah.
Steve, Lad would get a bong and not know how to use it, and then drink the bong water.
No, don't drink the bong water. I can tell you, I've never used a bong, but even I know don't drink the bong water.
It'd be like the thing where it's like, you don't have to put it so far into your mouth. Yes, you do. Shut up.
Yeah.
It's the guy like deep-throating the bong.
Fancy Lost Planet.
The C.
A C.
It was like very glitchy most of the time, and what I did play was fun. I remember that, but the boss fight also horrible.
I feel the need to point out that I had no bugs or glitches.
No, I had constant VSync issues and things going through the floor.
If you remember, I couldn't play that game in anything but like a small window in the middle of my screen.
Yeah, I remember this was the case.
Actually.
Everyone had.
I generally
This game never should have released on PC. It's just all I'm gonna say about it.
That might be one of the problems.
It seems like it's barely running because it was right before Windows Live, and Windows Live is what basically has killed the second game. Like, games from that era on PC are really fucked. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like, we can all sit around and be like, buy physical games. But if something as integral as Windows Live goes away, your physical games are still fucked.
GameSpy Arcade
Yeah.
that recently happened with.
Yeah, a lot of games. If you see a
What are you gonna
PC
do when
game,
Wild Tangent's
if you
gone?
see a physical PC game with the Windows Live banner at the top, just assume it doesn't work. Don't buy it. Like genuinely, don't even waste your time.
Does Wild Tangent have this issue, or is that different?
What?
Wild
You not know Wild
Tangent.
Tangent?
No.
I think they're still fine.
Okay.
Yeah. The biggest culprit right now is Windows Live
Yeah.
And GameSpy.
and GameSpy. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a C, mostly because same as everyone else. Game generally did not like to run. I would be interested to like stream it on like the PS3 or something sometime. Play it how it wants to be played on a console that it was meant to be on. But on PC, that thing did not like to run. It was bad.
That Wild Tangent is actually still around. I've only ever played one game from this, and it was Fate.
All right. So I will get these printed off. I will share them on my personal Twitter, but if you there is a Collecting Dust account on Blue Sky. The account that Jack Dorsey just left and seemingly went insane today. That was weird. He just that he was like, Elon Musk, an idiot. He ruined my platform. I'm gonna go over here and make this new one. Okay, I'm a board member of this one. And then today he was like, he left the board and was like, Elon Musk platform is the freedom platform. It's like, what the fuck just happened? What happened? What, yeah. Everyone's just like, so what?
Did he
So
get
he
like
made
turned into
Blue
a
Sky
bot or
and then
something?
went
I don't
back
know.
to Twitter.
Yeah, he was posting on
He got
Twitter.
hit with the lobotomy ray.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jack Dorsey might have Elon's brain chip. I don't know.
He got the Neuralink.
That's what the
That was
Neuralink
Elon's
does,
plan
too.
all along. He was gonna Neuralink all the people that disagree with him, so that they just become his bots.
I know we covered all the games,
Yes.
but did we like give up on Detroit Become Human, or am I stupid?
So that was supposed to be the next game, and then I moved.
Yeah.
And the podcast kind of stopped because the purpose of this podcast, as much as I love playing games off my backlog and stuff, it really was to hang out with all of you. And
Here's the thing.
when I moved back to
I'm pretty
Oregon,
sure
I didn't need it anymore.
I'm
So now
pretty
that
sure we've all played it though, so we could still rate it if you want.
I have not played it.
I played it when it was new.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played it for the podcast, and I have some hot
I played it before
takes,
anything.
apparently.
Yeah,
I also named it Human Become Detroit, so
I didn't play it, and now that I'm back in Texas, that's why it's up again. Because I'm like, I miss friends. I
yeah.
don't like people here. I don't like how when the weather changes, my house changes. The front door of my house doesn't work right now. Seriously, the weather changes so much that the house shifts, and it's like, okay, the house is different now. All right, everyone. So unfortunately, you like the
Welcome
front
to
door.
a landlocked state.
You have to really fucking ream on the front door to get it closed to lock it. But good news, the pantry door works now. So, silver lining.
In my state, it's like, all right, well, it's spring, so just be prepared. You could literally die any day. Any single day, a tornado could come and just kill all of you.
Yeah, that's
just like a thing you have to accept.
Yeah, we're in a similar situation right now. Just last week, a tornado touched down in the next town over. And in the area of Texas I'm in, tornadoes are like, it's still a thing, but it's the bottom half where you have to really worry about them. So whenever like a tornado is on this top, it's like, oh yeah, that could happen. I forgot about that. Oh shit. You generally don't have a warning for one, then all of a sudden a storm's bad enough, it's like 3 of them touch down in Abilene. It's like, what? Hold on.
Okay, the closest I've ever gotten was one day a supercell formed literally like outside our front door, and it didn't touch down, and we were all very relieved.
Yeah.
But we almost just lost everything.
Texas tornadoes are like someone trying to summon all 5 pieces of Exodia.
This is a big supercell. I remember that day. We were terrified, and then no, it just dissipated.
All
Didn't
right.
form.
So yeah, on the Blue Sky, Collecting Dust has its own account. I will post these. On Twitter, just follow our main accounts.
Yep.
Of course, follow the Blue Sky
Always.
personal accounts as well, of course. But if you do just generally want to keep up with the podcast, Blue Sky is the place. I will not get the brain chip.
No.
So yeah, expect those the tier lists probably. I could do them tonight. I'll get them up tonight. So we are on to the final event now. We played a game.
Mhm.
I already forgot who recommended this game.
Me.
It's Wulfryk. Wow,
Yeah.
how did you do this?
It's the product
let-
of pressure.
You skipped my turn. That's how we ended, and you're here again.
This was a spin of the wheel.
That
This
is
We all
is what
decided
you're
that
doing.
we needed him again.
Yes, we did a
You know,
wheel.
you loved me so much, you voted me back in. And then you pressured me, and I picked a game in panic, and so I picked Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Dark School.
I generally didn't take notes for this game. It is mostly just vibes. It was a vibe check.
I took notes this morning while I was remembering.
didn't
Oh
take
yeah,
notes.
that's today.
But I played this game a lot, so
Ugh.
Yeah, give us the basic rundown. I know it's like 2 sentences worth of story, but give it to
No,
us.
there's some story, okay?
there's a
So you
lot of
see,
lore.
in the beginning,
In the beginning, there was
in the
dragons.
beginning,
In
there
the
were dragons
beginning.
and nothing else. And then one of the dragons had no scales. And then the people, the gods, showed up, and they're like, "Hi, dragon without scales, help us kill the dragons so we can take the fire." And he goes, "That's a great idea because these other dragons bully me for not having scales." So they killed the
Even though
dragon.
he's smarter than every one of them, he's just an incel.
He's just big brain.
Teeth the Scaleless is an incel. Just a reminder.
The girl dragons don't like me, so I'm gonna kill them all.
Remember, everyone, being bald does affect a person's life. It does.
Then the flame was divided up across some witches, a
Billions
god,
must learn
a guy who's a
sorcery.
skeleton made out of smaller skeletons, and a little tiny human. And that human would become every human. And everything was really good for a while, and then this symbol appeared on all the humans, and everyone started to rot, and things were not good. And all the people that were rotting, they just threw them in an asylum like we do already.
Oof.
The flame got relit a couple of times, and then it goes out, and then your turn happens because this guy who's on a pilgrimage falls like an idiot, and you find him, and he goes, "Hey, finish the job for me. I'm giving up and dying for realsies this time." And he gives you your Sunny D and sends you on your way. And you fight a giant fat demon with jiggle physics. And then
Thick
you
demon.
take a crow over to the regular rest of the world, and you circle around up till you fight some gargoyles guarding a bell, and then you go down into Blight Town. Poison. Why so much poison? Please
Can I
stop.
just express something about the story that I love a lot?
Huh.
One of the things that you kind of figure out in the story is that the chosen undead that they call you is not like actually just you. Like you become the chosen undead, but it's fair to say that they probably tell every undead about this stuff. Like they just tell anybody, like in the hopes that somebody fucking does it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. So then you go down, fight the spider centaur lady, ring her bell.
Hot spider
I'll
centaur
ring
lady.
her bell.
And then after that, you can go to the catacombs and fight the big skeleton man, or you can fight the greatest named boss in all of video games, Ceaseless Discharge.
You could also just make him kill himself. I mean,
Yeah,
that's an option.
if you trigger the fight and go to the right part of the arena, he'll just fall off the map and die.
Yeah, you just run back to the fog wall as soon as you see his health bar.
I have a
And
feeling about that, but you know, we'll get to it.
Then yeah, you just go places, kill a bunch of bosses, get the Lord Vessel, see a giant woman.
Wow.
Mother.
By giant, I mean literally
Chest
giant.
ahead.
And then you turn in the 4 souls of the lords and you go kill God. And he's not very good at fighting because you can parry him to death.
And there's still 2 more games.
Yeah, because in the next game, you got to deal with the repercussions of the previous person having killed God. And then in the 3rd game, you have to kill the reincarnation of God. Well, actually, it's the reincarnation of God made out of the ashes of everyone who ever relit the flame. So he's like God, but instead of his blood being wine, his blood is the ashes of dead people.
Wholesome.
Yeah, so I didn't beat the game this time because I didn't want to break it. One of the reasons I recommended it is because I have a really easy time playing this game because I have figured out on every platform a bunch of game-altering exploits. And I mostly just wanted to show those off because they're funny. Like soul duplication.
That's all good if you play the game multiple times. But if you're new, cheap.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it.
Yeah, you tried to get me.
I didn't cheat.
I didn't try. I said you could, and I would teach you if you wanted to.
You offered it like
because
5
you were
times.
suffering.
To both of us.
I just want to be helpful.
It wasn't necessarily that I was suffering. So I think I might surprise with how high this rating is going to be when we do give the ratings. I generally understand, and I did like what I played, but most of my frustration with this type of game is it's one of those things where it's like the community around it, and what you have it built up in your head of like what this means. And it's like it's the serious gamers game, right? And all of that. And then generally you actually start playing it and doing research and everyone's like, you can just get it to run off the bridge. And it's like, well, that feels cheap though. And everyone who enjoys the game is like, yeah, but you could just get it to run off the bridge. It's like, is this a gamer's game? It seems like you're all just cheesing. What is going on here?
Yeah, the Dark Souls community is simultaneously overhyped and over like fear-mongered. Because a lot of the people back in the beginning were like the get good people, where it's just like, I'm gonna gatekeep this game. But then everyone realized those guys were lame.
Yeah, those guys are losers because Souls games are easy. Like all of them, every single one.
And like the only reason people
hard.
play Dark Souls 1 anymore is mostly for how exploitable it is and the funny stuff you can do in it.
Yes, there's a lot of funny stuff. Like I was running around with an egg for a head, so.
I realized something about what's on the screen. It's a genuine fuck up on my part of my bad Photoshop. I'm not gonna point it out, but I'm just saying that I've been quiet because I'm looking at like, how could I do that? Oh god.
Personally, one of the things I love about the Souls games, being like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, or any of the others, like Sekiro or Elden Ring. The thing I love about all of them is the variety of things that you can do to beat the game. Just you really like you could just hit things with sticks all you want. That's fun. But what you also could do is figure out in which place like the bosses could be forced off of the map. That's just a funny way to play.
See, and that's the thing. I didn't want to. I accidentally did.
You accidentally killed the ceaseless discharge that way? Is that what I'm gathering?
No, it's
Taurus demon.
The Taurus demon.
Taurus demon, yeah.
I was like, I'm going to. That was my moment. That this is kind of what killed the game for me. Is like I was suffering, but like I was generally like still trying. And then, I was like, no, I can do this. Every single time I'm slowly getting their health farther and farther down. Like, I got this. And then genuinely, I go in there and immediately, I parry once. I roll out of the way, and I turn around and he's gone. And all of a sudden, it's like defeated.
Dude, I love that.
You
though.
demoralized
so
him
good.
with one dodge. He's like, oh, my attack. Well,
But that's the thing,
it's just
though.
not
Is
worth
like
it.
that wasn't satisfying to me.
The
That like
most
generally killed it.
anticlimactic victory.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to win this way.
Yeah. Well, Dark Souls 2 had the right idea on that one, where you could just pull a lever to prevent that from happening with one of the bosses. If you really wanted to beat the first boss in Drenlaic, like without cheesing him, you could just pull this lever that closes off the ledging in that area. Of course, this makes it harder to kill him because one of the genuine things to do is wait for him to walk up to you and dodge out of his first attack, in which case you will fall off the map and die.
Yeah, my biggest problem with this game really was the build up my whole life, basically. I'm not that young, but still, a large portion of my life has been like Dark Souls this, Dark Souls that, and then I play it, and just I'm talking to people who play this game, and it's like, so I'm having trouble beating this person. Not even like a big boss. There's like a tougher enemy, but like generally having problems with this, and it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to just like run by them, come back later. It's like, what? No, that's not. I don't want to do that though.
Picking your battles is an important skill to learn in Dark Souls, especially like in 3,
Unless
where
you're
every
me.
enemy in like the overworld is just like really fast, and the odds of you being able to kill all of them are pretty high, really. But the odds of you having any Estus to spare after that aren't very high.
Because Love can attest to my Dark Souls experience. I am the worst at running past enemies. I am guaranteed to die if I run
Yeah,
past them instead of just killing them all.
I was a lot better at that than Love was at all times.
And that's the
I'm a professional pussy. That's why I'm transitioning.
Wow. And that's the thing. Is for me, when I was like, okay, so like if I'm actually having troubles with these large enemies and it's not like a full-on boss I'm locked in with, I can just leave. But like I could never get away from them. I will run across this playable area and turn around, and this fat guy with a square shield is still on my ass.
I know. I think I know exactly which guy.
Now, what's funny is I killed that large guy first try. I accidentally did. I just lucked my way into killing. And generally didn't cheese it. Just that was at the peak of me like actually starting to understand how to play. And I was all of a sudden like, he wasn't even a problem.
Yeah, you can see the matrix.
Yeah, same for the boar. I was hearing like Fancy was possibly having problems with the boar. I was like, I killed the first turn. Now did I cheese?
I just ran by the boar every time.
Yeah, did that one I cheese a little more? Absolutely, but I still did it.
Did you plunge attack it?
No, there's a part on the map where if you are on it just like, oh, I don't see him anymore.
Oh yeah, I threw an alluring skull and plunge attacked it last time.
Yeah, you know the staircase where that lets you go up to get the archers on the bridge up there?
Yeah. You just cheesed it at the entrance to that, didn't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, because they're in front of the staircase. There's all those pillars. Once you pass those pillars, that's like a wall to that boar. That boar is not programmed to go up those stairs. The boar's just like, oh, they're gone. And then it would slowly turn around. I would come up and stab its ass.
Punch it in the butthole.
That just makes me think of in the Souls board, like my favorite like critical hit animation on all of Souls is the backstab from Bloodborne on the pig. You just put your whole hand up that hog ass.
Up to the elbow.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to bring this up too. Everyone else played the remaster except me.
Yeah,
It's because you're a weirdo.
Wait a minute, I just realized that since you played the original, you probably didn't have the Prepare to Die update too.
No.
You actually probably had an easier time playing it than we did.
Like I said, for the most part, like the difficulty I was facing, I was actually like, it wasn't enough to get me to quit the game. It was genuinely, I got to a point where I just wasn't satisfied by playing it. It was one of those
Or
things.
was it Dark
it
Souls
was
2 that had the Prepare to Die edition?
I was told it was one. From what I remember, Prepare to Die is the first one.
Oh no, 2 had Scholar of the First Sin edition, which was
Yeah.
like vastly different.
Yeah, like yeah. My biggest problem was like, I've heard all these things about the game, and then I get in the game, and it's genuinely not that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know.
The game, I think a lot of the this game is hard type stuff comes from the way that the characters in the game talk about it. Because I love like bleak fantasy worlds and like dark fantasy. I love it a lot. And Dark Souls 1 is no exception. The characters in Dark Souls talk about the ordeal that's ahead of you as if it's completely like it's perilous and borderline impossible, because like in universe it is. But like for you it's just like pressing buttons ultimately.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the difficulty is not what ended up getting me to stop playing, because I did not finish this game. Not even close. I didn't even ring the first bell.
You didn't ring the dingster?
I did not.
Yeah.
I never got to a single dingster to ring.
He didn't kill the bell gargoyles or Quelaag.
Yeah. What killed me was
I got really close to the gargoyles though.
I accidentally killed the Taurus demon, and I was like, I don't like that. And then I start feeling like I'm doing good, and then I reach this fucker who will not stop casting spells in a room full of all these just smaller enemies.
Yeah.
You know
And
what's funny?
That's
is
the room
if
that I
you-
was straight up told, yeah, you can just run by him. And I was like, but that's also just not satisfying. I don't
I don't know
want
who
to.
said
You know
just
what's
run
funny?
by it.
Well, I was talking about
I
running by
never
the
got
fat
asked.
knight dude.
I never got asked about him because I would have told you if you kill the caster guy, he doesn't respawn. So if you focus him down,
Yeah, neither
he
of
doesn't
them do.
respawn after that.
Yeah. Like the boar or the big
Neither
shield
of the
man.
dudes respawn.
Yeah.
We were back.
But yeah, no, that room genuinely catches me up a lot. I tend to like aggro them and then kite them into the hallway where they bunch up a lot. And if you're two-handing a weapon, you can hit multiple at the same time.
You talking
So
about
you
the little
just-
guys?
Yeah, you just swing
Yeah.
and then back dodge and then swing again once they get into range.
I was
that's what I
not
This
did.
most
using
recent
two-handed.
build, because I've beaten the game a time, but this most recent build that I was playing for the podcast, I made it to Sense Fortress, and I was using the Zweihander, because normally I play mages. I usually use magic, but the Zweihander is very fun.
I also broke away from my norm with this one, where instead of doing a faith strength build, which is bad, don't do that. I just did a pure strength build.
Which do that. Strength builds are amazing in Dark Souls 1. They're, I think, arguably the strongest builds you can make. One thing about Dark Souls and even Demon Souls is that I like how the like using a bow is actually genuinely a okay strategy. Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 don't use bows, just ever. They're fucking useless. Bloodborne, there's only one bow and it's okay, but you can't really use it like a bow if I'm not mistaken. So it's just like
That
it's
game
okay.
has guns.
Yeah, that game has guns. So, but the guns are used to parry. And then Elden Ring, they're actually okay again. Use bows; they're fun.
I am just slowly realizing that this genre of game, not for me.
Fair.
My favorite genres of game, though.
I've played multiple at this point, and I just am not interested.
You would weirdly, wildly, I think you would actually like Elden Ring, but not for the reasons that like other people like Elden Ring.
It's old enough. Recommend it, bitch.
Wait, yeah, I will just recommend it.
I'll play it on the PS4. I'm kidding.
Actually, I say I would recommend that, but I was already thinking about recommending Divinity Original Sin too.
Well, every fourth time is yours, so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, that's fair.
I have 2 Dragon Age games. I don't know where these came from, but I have them.
Oh shit, we should play Dragon.
I have them on PS3.
I love Dragon Age.
I know you do.
Dragon Age Inquisition, they padded out the time way too much, but Dragon
F.
Age Origins and 2 are great. Yeah, they pad out the time a lot in
Wait, what?
Inquisition. The
Dragon Age.
yeah.
Does anyone else have much more to say about the first Dark of the Souls?
I made it farther than you did, but not as far as either of them.
Yeah.
I beat the gargoyles and rang that bell, and then I was gonna fight the boss with the dogs, and then I gave up.
Oh, you were gonna fight
Capra
the
Demon.
Capra Demon, yeah.
Yeah.
Capra Demon is by far one of the boss arenas that is most bullshit.
Yeah, well, he has dogs that aggro me, and I can't deal with him and the dogs at the same time.
Well, and because you went in blind and didn't have prior information, you didn't know to start with the master key. So
yeah, well, how would I know that?
I know, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, like,
Well, yeah, these were
unfortunately,
blind
you
playthroughs.
didn't have that knowledge because it was a blind play, and
Yeah.
so
I actually
the
respect you
Capra
for
Demon is
doing a
your
blind
only
playthrough.
option.
Though. Well, actually, oh no, yeah, he couldn't have gone through up through the Valley of Drakes.
Yeah, because you need the master key to get through the Valley of Drakes.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just did what
I
I
had
do in all
both
the
tiers too.
Souls games I play, and just carry a big weapon.
I still remember I was fighting the gargoyles with the FAP ring on.
Ring of favor and protection.
And
I
killed him. It's funny because as I was like going through that area, I made it a point to systematically wipe out every living thing in that area and then kill the gargoyles. And that includes the gold guy.
Lothric, yeah.
Lothric. I wanted to say Lothric, and I knew that wasn't right. Yeah, I killed Lothric and put on the FAP ring, and then fought the gargoyles with one Estus and a dream, and won. Because the Zweihander quarters their health pool on pretty much every hit, and I already +1'd it before going in there. It was literally coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb for them.
I was using the Claymore.
Solid choice.
Claymore as well.
Claymore's very good.
I was using axe.
Jax, the battle axe?
Yeah.
Also
I
an
respect
amazing
it.
good.
Did you?
We were all
two-hand
using
it?
strength builds.
I was two-handing.
I should have run my sorcery build because everybody else was running strength builds.
Nah, strength is the way.
Strength is fun. I will give them that.
This is the
I
way.
need to run decks just to see what everybody like all the dex nerds are on about. I need to do it at some point.
Run pyromancy.
I'm going. What's the world
not
of
gonna run
Dark Souls
pyromancy.
called?
Lordran.
Dark Souls.
Lordran.
I'm going to become the president of Lordran and nuke the rats.
Okay, so what you gotta do is you gotta link the fire first because Gwyn's the god.
You gotta
take
link
his
the
job.
fire. You gotta get the Lord Souls. You gotta get the.
You're not
Dude,
voted in.
in
It's
the
actually
third
by
game.
conquest, which is I know it's barbaric, but it just you have to kill the previous president.
Dark-
Imagine if that's how it worked like in any other like civilized country. It's like, I know it's barbaric, but it's just our custom. You have to kill our previous leader if you want to be leader.
Dark Souls would be a lot easier if I had Johnny Silverhand's pistol.
A
There
lot of
are
things would be a
several
lot
gun
easier.
That just makes me think of a different game, another Crab's Treasure.
I want to play that. I have been watching it.
I
Because
saw
one of the accessibility options is to give the main character a gun, so your shell is just a 9mm pistol, and you can one-shot anything with it.
Nice. Is there much else?
Not really.
Okay. It's rating time. We will go backwards alphabetically. So Wulfryk, what do you rate this?
I'm sorry for the coughing. Oh, what do I rate Dark Souls 1? I'll give it a B.
B for Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, because it's, like, it's fun. That's about it. Well, I mean, it's fun for me, but that's because I know enough about the game to where I could feasibly beat it in like a day.
If you're a community behind a game that is supposed to be super hard, get good type game, and then generally half of the real life gameplay I see is just running away, no. You're not as deep. It's not that deep, bro.
Well, the community is not really the get good, it's a hard game type anymore.
Good.
Yeah, well,
that's
because
what I
everybody
always hear.
It's
for
very
its time
casual now.
period. Well, yeah, well, it's like for its time period, it was kind of a hard game, but now everybody's kind of grown up and realized that, like, yeah, other games can be hard, and this game is more dark than hard.
Oh yeah. Well, that's good because this game generally, like I said, the only thing I knew about this game was it was supposed to be hard, and generally I just thought it was like I already forgot the word that I was using earlier, but I just
I mean,
didn't
you
really
should have been
enjoy
tipped
it.
off when it was something that I said I was having fun playing.
That doesn't mean anything.
I don't like difficult experiences.
What are you doing? My cat is in between the space of my headboard and the wall, and she's looking at me like, "How do I get out?" Figure it out.
So,
Fancy.
Lad.
Yeah.
What do you rate? So you gave it a B. Fancy. What are you?
C.
A C.
Not my favorite Souls game I've played.
Understandable.
I was also gonna give it a B because as much as I love this game, the more I played it, the more I wished I was playing like Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It's a great game, but it is old.
So you gave it a B, right?
Yes.
All right.
A
I'm a very
B.
forgetful person. I've already forgotten.
That's because you have dementia.
No, it's because I'm an idiot.
Well, that too.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
I Fancy, you gave it a C, a B? What did you give it? Or
C.
A C. Okay. Then Wulfryk gave it a B. I do know that
Yep.
one. I'm probably gonna give a C as well.
Understandable.
So we got 2 C's, 2 B's. Not terrible.
I was gonna say, honestly, after I finally had a minute to really think about what I had recommended, I didn't expect either of you to really like it that much.
Generally, because I was having the problem with, I keep using the word generally. I need to stop that.
Take a shot every time he says generally.
Oh no. You'll die. No, I forgot what I was gonna say. My problem, like I was saying, was that I didn't find a lot of it rewarding or like, anything like that. Rewarding, basically.
Yeah.
And so for me, I a lot of these other games I've gotten much further into have a interesting story that I'm into, and this game also just didn't have that for me.
The story telling of Dark Souls is kind of an acquired taste because a lot of it is done through, like, observing your surroundings, getting items with flavor text.
Listening to
Generally,
NPCs.
yeah, listening to NPCs. Most of the story of the Dark Souls games is told in item descriptions and in the general world building. Like, there's a lot that could be said about the places through like how uh the areas look, like just literally what is going on in these areas.
It's a little reading heavy though.
Yeah, if you're
Oh,
not
okay.
reading or just paying a lot of attention to your surroundings, the story is a little, you know.
One of my famous Dusty is an idiot takes is I don't like reading.
I like hidden lores. I love when a game has a lot to say that isn't just said directly to you.
Well, a game
Uh,
could do both. It
yes,
could have a upfront story and then a bunch of shit in the back.
Dark Souls
Yeah.
does have that. Dark Souls has the main story that you are told about, which is the stuff that you're told to do, and then it has like the descriptions and stuff. The thing is the main story that you're told about isn't a lot. It's just, you know,
See that's my problem though. It's like when I'm thinking of story, I'm thinking you've got the 3 act structure and all that. The story really is the upfront story is there's the opening cutscene. Do what it says.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're looking for a little more substance.
Yes.
In like the actual what is presented up front.
Because
So I
even
get
if I'm not 100% clicking with the mechanics, if the story is good enough, that can drag me through the end. So when I'm not clicking with the mechanics or the fighting style, and I'm having troubles with that kind of thing,
I
and then the
think
story is
you really
ring,
like
ring 2
linear
bells.
stories. You really like linear stories, and I think that that's what it is just the linear the story being not super told to you. Actually, I won't even just say linear stories, but
I
like
was gonna say,
you like a lot more fleshed stories,
yeah,
like where the story is the focus of a game.
I like it. I like a story.
I like when stories are background to me. That's just me.
The main story of Dark Souls feels like a checklist that you're handed, and that's it. It's like you got 2 bells and some bosses in the way. Go at it.
Yeah.
There's
It's
also
like
the stories of like the characters around you, which you can influence.
Onion Man.
Yeah.
I like him. He hasn't said a single thing to me. He just goes,
Everyone likes him.
He's just got a funny armor. I like him.
Ooh.
he's the best guy.
So I think that's mostly it for Dark Souls, and also mostly it for this episode. I have to recommend a game now, and now I'm
Yes.
in the where Wulfryk was because I generally fuck take a drink.
You generally fuck.
I shit.
Also,
I
take a
do.
shot.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
No. I thought of a game, and then everyone was basically like, "Don't you dare!"
No, what game was it?
The PS3 game that you
Oh,
have.
I never said don't you dare. I actually
I
figured
said
out the
don't you dare.
emulation.
Okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still
Then
got to do some testing, but what's
I
the
am
name of the game?
Well, maybe if things need to be tested, don't pick it right away. Let them
Well, I
test
could
it
download
first.
it right now and we could find it.
hold on. Is it on? I don't think it's gonna be on Steam, but let me just check.
What
What's the
game?
I
called?
doubt it.
Doubt it.
I doubt it. It's a PlayStation exclusive from 2000 from PS3
Yeah.
era. No.
What's it called?
It's called Haze.
Haze. Thank you.
I don't know that game.
This was PlayStation and Ubisoft trying to be Halo, or at least that's what all I know about it. That could be wrong. And it's just when it came out, that was the closest thing.
Okay.
But
It's
yeah,
gonna take a minute because it is it's like 8 gigabytes.
okay.
But you could recommend it, and then like if it doesn't work, a backup game.
Yeah. Oh, what would my backup game be? Because I've always wanted to play this game. I own it physically. Free Radical. Let's go.
So what's your backup? Was it?
I'm trying to games. What do I got on Steam? Let me look real quick. Library. What do I got on Steam that I haven't played much of? A game that's at least a year old. Oh, you know what? That'd be. Do I torture? What's the name of that puzzle game?
Just throw a Bejeweled. Just what?
Oh,
Hey,
Peggle? Okay, actually, I would play the
ooh,
fuck out of
I didn't
Peggle.
realize this game was $40. Really?
Oof.
what
game?
is it?
It's The Witness.
Oh,
Don't know
it
that
was
game.
free on PlayStation a while ago. so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I might have grabbed it.
Yes.
This is also either one of these will be asked for again in the future by me. If we get Haze working, The Witness is later. If we don't, then we'll do The Witness and Haze is later. Like it really is that. Yeah. That's so we'll go through with Haze, and if not, we'll play The Witness. And The Witness is a part 1 of 2 by me. There's a second game that I will have to have you play later if we play that. The Witness puzzle game. I'm going
This whole
to
wiener in your mouth.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm expecting low scores.
For one.
The Witness, if we play that. I know nothing about this.
This whole wiener in your mouth.
I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a either you really like it and what it has to say, or you hate it because you generally just it's one of the it's without spoiling too much. It really is one of those you either love it or hate it. I'm curious.
Okay.
Where people fall. So we'll go through with Haze for now, and if it doesn't work, then we're gonna have to get The Witness.
If it doesn't work, you guys will know during the next podcast episode.
Yes, you'll know by immediately looking which game is being played. All right. Commercials. Who's doing what and where, and do you want people to even know and follow you?
Not anything yet, but I plan to.
I Twitch stream.
It's in the description.
It is.
It is.
We're doing art tomorrow. Actually, it's probably going to be over on Picardo. So
NSFW.
If you want to see some sexy.
Okay, so this is not live. So, if you're listening to this, that stream was 2 days ago. Sorry.
You've missed it.
You missed it. You had to be there. It was pretty
you
hot.
had to be there. It was awesome, you know. Really the sexiest thing I've ever drawn.
Yeah, I think everyone at least has. Oh no, I need to get Eelayne's stuff if she wants things.
Not yet because I want to make a YouTube myself.
Okay.
To be
Do you
honest.
have a Blue Sky or Twitter or anything you want to?
No, because all my accounts are like my personal accounts, which I use to follow porn. So
Epic. Fancy.
It's linked in the description. It's enough
Cool.
for me.
Just Blue Sky and Twitter. Got it.
Yeah.
Everything's in the description for me. YouTube's pretty dead. Still working on a thing. I've been working on it for 5 years. I'm not even gonna act like it's got any much progress made. Listen, Call of Duty is bigger than you fucking think. I can't believe at one point I was like, if I make like 2 or 3 a year, I can catch up. I just,
Well, okay, look, if you don't make each one your magnum opus, where you spend a college education's amount of time
I did
on
start.
each game.
I did start this project when I was in
Motivate.
college.
I know.
I did do that. I've been graduated for 4 years. Send help. I've been graduated from college at the same amount of time it takes to graduate from high school, and I'm still working on this fucking. Yeah.
It's wild that it's been that long.
It is. Yeah. Graduated May 2020.
you know, I can't believe I've gone this whole time without name dropping somebody.
Hey, you did it.
Good
Don't
job.
start now.
Don't do
I'm
it.
gonna do it. You
No.
know, I already. You know what I'm gonna do with that thing, Batman.
No. Don't do it.
Don't do it, Joker.
Dusty's real name and address is.
Dox him on the first episode back on the podcast.
No.
The way you know with the no, I just pictured you with the like the flash of light from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Beto Kaiba.
Seto Kaiba. That's Dusty's real name, by the way. Seto Kaiba.
Still recording?
Yes.
Yes.
Wulfryk's address: 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
Definitely.
Oh no, why would you tell everyone that? Uh-oh.
If you know, you know, and if you don't, you're not American.
Oh, I.
Remember, it is not illegal to sign up the White House for Playboy magazines or anything. It's not illegal. You should do it. Yeah. All right. Hayes next episode. Hopefully,
Or goodness.
or the witness. You'll find out. Yeah. I think that's it. Anyone else have anything to add real quick?
No.
Petting my cat right now.
Meow.
I've been trying to get her close to the mic, so you might be able to hear her purring. But
I heard
imagine
a little
not.
bit, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Doggy.
This long ending is collecting dust. How about that? Fuck you.